What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 19 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Settra, Great King, the Imperishable, Khemri Kara, the Great King of Nehekara, King of Kings, Opener of the Way, Wielder of the Divine Flame, Punisher of Nomads, the Great Unifier, Commander of the Golden Legion, Sacred of Appearance, Bringer of Light, Father of Hawks, Builder of Cities, Protector of the Two Worlds, Keeper of the Hours, Chosen of Petra, High Steward of the Horizon, and many, many more. So as we saw, campaign. So as we saw last time, a bunch of battles as usual, with King Wakaf having a very nice battle facing off against Epidemius at the 9th Library, immediately before it was swapped out to another faction, and giving us 6 out of 8 Books of Nagash, as I consider that to be our victory condition, or at the very least effectively one of them. Technically speaking, we don't have long victory as yet, but we could get it at any time because we've completed all the objectives with the exception of the Pyramid of King Amenemnetum, which is located in Zandri, which we are going to eventually take. So really it's the Books of Nagash that we would like to have. One we're starting to get near to, and the other one is all the way out here, which we'll probably send Kotep to pick up, though he might stop at Zandri because we kind of want to. Anyway, we are, I believe, in more or less a new turn, but before we start moving everybody, I did a little bit of the old switcheroo between the episodes, as in trading settlements around. And these guys now have the full settlement of the Badlands coast, and these guys have most of the Marshes of Madness. More importantly, we have this done. Giant Stomping Grounds is now ours, and the Gortusk Camp and Splintered Bone Camp are ours as well. The reason being, we should now, unless there's something we're missing, but I don't think there is. We might want to get Teeth Snatches to sort of unscrew the border gore. Alright, how about this? We will auto-resolve this just so that we can deal with this right now. Again, it's a nice garrison, but they refuse to sally out, and if they refuse to sally out, they know that they're too weak to face off against us. Alright, occupy. Alright, then we will leave Karakazgal immediately, like so. And we can still heal here, and we will immediately trade Asgal, which is a nice tier 4 settlement, to... Okay, yes, mission successful, great. Karakazgal to the elves, specifically for Putrid Tar Pits. Yes? Yes. Alright. That's Putrid Tar Pits for Karakazgal, like so. They really want Karakazgal, huh? Well, and good for them. There is also technically this territory that we might want to trade, but we'll deal with that later. And you might also notice this. Look at how many wars our vassals and we are in. Also, between the episodes as promised, since it takes absolutely forever, I went through the list and declared war on not all the Chaos factions, but a bunch of Chaos factions, so that all of our vassals become super friendly with us and super friendly with each other. Seems like the sensible thing to do. Anyway, Asgal and Putrid Tar Pits swap. I like so. Hopefully this didn't lessen the amount of healing that we're doing in our own territory here. It might have, or it might not have, I don't know, but it'll take a little bit to get to the Moors territory anyway, so it won't matter. Anyway, Putrid Tar Pits, we will then immediately trade to these guys, and hopefully they don't immediately lose it. Putrid Tar Pits, and we want to trade it for Holiday Retreat, specifically. Where is it? Oh, they won't do it. Well, damn it. that didn't quite work out like I wanted it to. Putrid Tar Pits. Alright, delete this, delete this. It's okay, I think it'll still work out, assuming that this little rebel pile of enemies doesn't immediately take Putrid Tar Pits. Well, if it does, then I just give up. At least on that. That's not what's important anyway. Splintered Bone Camp. And vassalization, and you can have 22k, I don't care. And there you go. Order of the Winter Sun, now our vassals, and then next we'll have Dragonhorn Mines to these guys. Dragonhorn Mines, also for vassalage. Beautiful, don't bother taking their money. Like so. And now you're at war with 83 billion factions, but you're real friendly. There we are. The entirety of the Badlands is now our vassals, and that's just lovely. And I guess we can give the Gortusk camp to these guys as well. Might as well allow them to have the whole province. Like so. Alright. Looks good to me. And I guess we'll build a outposted Granty Mingle. I'm not entirely sure I care about any of the Kislevite units, as I'm not sure that they thematically kind of work with our units, but, you know, we'll see. Ekrund, where do we build our... I mean, your capital, I guess, well, we could do Citadel of Myrmidia, I guess. Yeah, let's do Citadel of Myrmidia. Outpost. Huh. I seem to be able to build more here in Kalkmere. Wait, what's the capital of this place? I guess it's Hanging Rock? Alright, let's do Hanging Rock then. Construct. Alrighty, and are we good for other outposts? I don't really care about the one at Mahrock, but the rest we should be okay with. Lovely. Alright, we got a new tech to pick as well, and I think it's finally time to start moving through the military techs. Yeah, we get a few other buffs for various units, but it's not super critical to be honest. Let's do some upgrades for... we did all the Tomb Guard upgrades, right? Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's time to upgrade the basic units. I mean, we're going to go through all of them anyway. It's time to have everybody as upgraded as we can. Anyway, wait, did that give us more canopic jars? Well, whatever. Yeah, so the Badlands other than this are ours. I wish I could trade this for Holiday Retreat immediately, but these guys wouldn't be willing to do it. I just wanted to get rid of the border gore here, which is apparently not happening. Well, we shall see. Decent likelihood that this falls next turn. But whatever. I don't really care that much. Settra, you are going to go southward. It looks like the enemy was not at Nagashazar with all of those units of theirs and is instead at the Cursed Pit, which is fine. We'll move down there ourselves. Clearly, they have another full stack in Cursed Pit, plus some good stuff here. So they've got elite units. Oh, right. All of these guys are moving southward and kind of bypassing Magrokan. I wanted to try this out. I don't know if it'll work, but... So this allows settlements to perform a garrison sally attack with plus 1,000 range. Plus 1,000 range means absolutely nothing to me. I don't know what that means in this particular case. How much is the base range? If the game doesn't tell you, this means nothing. I assume it's 500, but it could be 1,000. I don't know. Let's just click it and see what happens. All right, we'll do that, and that did... I guess kind of doubled it. Well, we can't reach this, and you can't reach this. Not that we were caring about it. I want to see what happens if we click you here. So you're going to run? Yeah, you're going to run. But not run far enough away. Poor little guy. You're dead now. There's like an invisible unit that moves, isn't there? Auto resolve, a little bit of damage. We will take the bind souls in case we get attacked next turn. But hey, that actually came in handy. Was it worth 750 canopic jars? No, it was not. I just wanted to see whether it worked and how it worked, because I never got the chance to do so previously. Anyway, let's get everybody else moving. Panet, you're going to declare war on... I guess the ogres here. I mean, we can't have them sitting here. Yeah. And I'm not really interested in ogre units, so goodbye. Plus, ogres are fun to fight. Declare war? Ooh. I wish you could, you know, not have your vassals join in the war. I know, like, they're supposed to, but there are some situations like this one where I don't want to be competing with them for the ogreish territories, and thus I... Really? It's gonna... Really? Really? The tomb bar... why do you hate this? Oh my lord, why is the auto-resolve so awful to the Tomb Barks? And I feel like we've auto-resolved with Panet's army a bunch of times before and the Tomb Bark wasn't killed, but now the auto-resolve is deciding this absolute trash will destroy the Tomb Bark. I assume it's saying that the Lead Belchers would gun it down, but I don't know. I don't even think that whatever. Alright, let's just max speed through this real quick. Range units. Actually, we might need to just charge forward with our Necropolis Knights and they'll do all the work. Alright, you know what? Yeah, don't fire at them because I'm a little bit worried that you'll kill the Necropolis Knights. Too bad nobody else is Vanguard deployable, but anyway. Hey, Tomb Bark, you can join in the fray, and then you guys go forward. Yeah, alright, good enough? Good enough. Wait, oh, I was about to say, do we have a mage in this army? But it's the Lich High Priest. Alright, go. Alright, all of you, forward. I probably should have selected you better in some ways, but I suppose it doesn't matter over much. Like so. Charge on in, charge on in. You guys kill the lead belchers. Everybody else move on forward. And keep on moving. You will buff up the Necropolis Knights so that they don't die. You guys just keep on charging stuff. And hey, what the heck? I turned you away. Did I not? Am I crazy? Oh, maybe I turned them the wrong way and whatever. Screwed something up. All good though. Alright, you guys go in opposite directions and then, you know, charge again. You just kind of stick around here. And then you counter-charge. You're the halberd variant. Oh, you know what we need? We need the Necrotect here. And Dune Surfer, smash into those lead belchers again. You guys just keep on smashing, Slaneshi giggle, as one does. Alright, everybody in, everybody in. Trying to do this as quick as possible. Okay, maybe everybody except you. Alright, yeah, pop off that. Alright, which unit is damaged? You are damaged. Alright, you, go heal this unit. You charge and speed it up and the battle should be just about done. Right, do we wanna maybe Spirit Leech this fella? Like so. Hey, don't hurt the Necrotech. You, go kill this guy as well. There we go. Alright. What a silly auto-resolve. I mean, we're used to, hey, who died? Which of you idiots managed to die? Was it actually one of the Necropolis Knights? Looks like the Lord got a kill. Maybe he charged through one of the Tomb Guard. He did damage the Necrotect. It is only a Fire Belly, but I guess Fire Bellies have high melee attack, so, good for him, I suppose. At least he did something. Someone should get 40 kills on the Casket of Souls? Oh, that's kind of interesting. It got one shot off before I realized that I had turned it back in the other direction. Obviously it doesn't match the Necropolis Knights, but still kind of impressive. That's caskets for you. In theory, our caskets are going to get much more powerful. I mean, they have been getting over time more powerful, but as our Lich Priests level, they have that faction-wide buff to them, so... Anyway, you. Worship of Construction Reduction, and let's keep on going. Walk off. You, I believe, are heading over to fight Khorne, just for fun, just because you can. You are building your Great Eagles to join these guys. The Moonbirds, unfortunately, are too expensive in the sense that I would rather have the... what were they called? Really, this is a close victory. Wait, are you in the right stance? Yes, I would rather have the Terracotta Automatons. I think we're going to auto-resolve this. Obviously, this is the remnants of the battle that we won last time. I'm willing to bet it's going to severely damage the Scorpions, because it always does. But it is what it is. We will, I guess, occupy it. We'll still trade it to our lizard little friends, and then you can... Oh! I was going to say sit outside the settlement in order to heal, but you can't do that because of the attrition. Why do you suffer attrition here? Armies will suffer attrition when it's... Oh, it's a swampland. Okay, well, they still have Idol of Neru, but otherwise the place is pretty much done. Alright. Well, looks fine to me. Who's next? King Thotepi. You... Watch them have another army there ready to attack us. You are going to take Gateway of Eternity now. And then you're going to raise it so that Intef can get it up and running at tier 3, and then we can tell him to go away. Auto-resolve. A little bit of damage. Raise. And finally, Intef, you will be of use. Colonize ruins at tier 3. Did that really do anything for us? Not really. We would have taken it at tier 2 and then upgraded it to tier 3 in like 1 turn, so... yeah, the... not so into the Petraz Necrotects, except perhaps as scouts. Anyway, we no longer need the defenses here, I would imagine, so you're... Oh, you can't even build anything because we need to wait until you have an Pyramidion up and running. Alright, well, I guess we'll wait then. Fair enough. I mean, I guess we could temporarily do this and this. Yeah, why not? Alrighty. No, you don't need to channel. Okay, let's see who's next then. Khalidah's recruiting for one last turn. King Lamazash, you are, I guess, going to move to Idol of Neru from this direction. You know what, maybe March stance? I don't know if you can reach it. Technically, this guy could reach it, but who knows? If they besiege you, then you might want to be going this way instead. Do we care about upgrading the... Hello, there is another army. Oh, with this army in March stance, they could reach King... Scorpion King. Interesting. Alright, you're gonna channel. I want to see how these guys react to this. They could take the opportunity to wipe this army out, so I'm going to make sure that we heal or apply the points as much as possible. Increase nope. Trapped soul. And then what about you? You have 2 points applicable. We have been using Usex periodically, so let's go this and then into Power Sap. We do want to actually get towards Vicious Curses, but it'll be a bit. Alright. Maybe that auto-resolve was a bit of an error in judgment, but, well, we'll see if that is truly the case. You cannot reach Ixstone, because he's so wicky. You're just gonna go right here. And we'll see where he goes from there. Maybe he falls for the ambush, maybe he tries to move towards one of these territories in a tunneling stance, and maybe we'll catch him. As long as the ambush doesn't fail, we should be okay. King, sit up. You... you're done, right? In the sense that you don't need any new units. You're just good. Meaning, we can send you out to the water, go out to Xandri, and then go deal with them. And then possibly Kotep as well. Yeah, I guess we can send Kotep that way as well. Again, we are going to have to chase him a little bit with this army to give him these units, but if he's at Xandri, then it won't be so bad. Oh, right, and then last time we also got that Hashut's Forge. We will delete it. It is very nice to have the units recruited in this province have a permanent plus 20 armor bonus. I'm almost tempted to just build the replacement carrion for Arakash with the plus 20 armor. It'll at least make them a little bit more tanky. I assume that the Hashut thing doesn't work for global recruitment or allied recruitment. We're going to test it out by globally recruiting some Bright Shields. If it's only local recruitment, unfortunately, it won't be as useful, but we'll see. To make the carrion useful, I wouldn't mind just using the extra armor. Yeah, that's how chaos gets you guys. I've been against it the entire time, but then 20 armor, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever chaos it is. Anyway, Esphir, you just stay here, I guess. Prince Scout, you have actually found Boris already, so you don't actually need to move out there. I'm not actually sure you need to be anywhere. I mean, I guess you could go down here and find some factions, see what's going on. And just out of curiosity, there may be more enemies to declare war upon. And make everybody else friendlier, I guess. This prince is not being useful here for now, and this prince actually has to go into this army. Oh, I could have popped you into this army before we attacked. My bad, buddy. Well, you can be in the army now, so you can be happy. I may or may not forget about you again, but at least you're in there now. And now I believe we're ready to end the turn, are we not? Unless I'm mistaken. Alright. Man, we have like a bunch of keepers now. I'm wondering whether we should delete them, but anyway. Skip. Hero not move, don't care. Building upgrade available. Doomglade Swamp. Oh. But it's going to be traded. It does have a nice royal burial chamber, but trade it anyway. And skip, and commandment available. I guess Worship of Construction Reduction. This is to be traded away anyway, so it's not like we care. Yeah, alright. And another commandment available. Oh. Is there any defensive commandment that might help you survive? Yeah, Worship of Ksar, give that a try. And a third commandment available. What's with all the commandments? And go for Worship of Construction Reduction, and now we're good to end the turn. Alright, they will actually attack our garrison settlement. Unfortunately, I believe that because this place has a defensive garrison structure, this can't be a cinematic fight, so we'll just have to manually fight it. Should be fun. Nonetheless, I'll try to make it pseudo-cinematic as much as possible. Now, the issue here is going to be the fact that we have 4 units of infantry. Everything else is constructs. Constructs are good, but it's going to be a problem with regards to actually manning the walls. Anyway, if this has to be manual, it has to be manual. Well, I mean, I could give it a try. Cinematically. I'm just wondering whether we can... Nah, because we have to use the Necropolis Knights. We have to give them orders. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to fight this manually. There's a way to fight these battles, sort of fight battles where you know there's going to be a desync and still do it cinematically when you know that you can avoid giving orders to your troops and the sort of units just, you know, react on their own. You can just tell them to move to different locations without directly attacking enemy units, and they'll just do it themselves. That doesn't work, however, if you have to give your troops a bunch of orders, which in this particular case we do, because we have all of these guys. Anyway, we have reinforcements coming in a minute and 8 seconds. What we need to do is... Alright, this... Alright, I'm going to hope that there isn't a bunch of hidden units over on this side. In fact, wait. Are there? I didn't see how many units were attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, I'm just going to assume that there aren't. And if there are, we're going to get screwed over and die. So them's the breaks. Yeah, we've got a lot of Vanguard deployables here, so you guys are free to sort of sally out and attack this stuff. I believe the Ushabti with great bows should be able to fire from over on this cliff. However, might they be able to fire over the wall if the enemy closes? I'm not sure. Let's give it a try. They have some sort of, well, not range. They have an arc to some degree of their shots, so perhaps it's a possibility. It exists. We do have a Tyro Titan, which we will keep, I guess, here for when the enemy's giant piles of reinforcements arrive. Then we do have a pile of Nehekaran horsemen, who I think will get out of this gate. Scorpion can sort of join the fray and keep the warp grinders busy. We have a Tomb Prince, which we could send out there if we want to. And we do have a Screaming Skull Catapult, which I think we need to position such that it can fire on these reinforcing units. Frankly, the same is probably true of the of these guys, but it'd be safer here, maybe. No, then this thing would get in the way. I think this is probably the best position that we got here. Where do we have towers that are buildable? Okay, Spokal Stalkers, I'll deal with you in a second. 800, oh right, we got Shooting Tower, Support Tower, Explosive Tower, and Support Tower 2. It replenishes hit points, effect range 40, so only if you're standing right beside it. That is still pretty interesting, but only affects units if they're constructs and if they're less than 25% HP. Great for holding ground, but we shouldn't in theory need that. This area is also really tiny. Oh wait, the range is bigger than I thought. Range 300, never mind. Huh. This is just the augment that is a small range? Okay, I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't matter in this case because that's not what we're looking for. And none of the towers are that close though, but I guess we're just gonna go for the explosive towers. We need something that will hopefully hit the enemy on top of the walls if the enemy should choose to move there. And frankly, the explosive towers should be useful against the giant pile of rats. And I believe that's it. Maybe this would be the better option here. It's a little bit closer. Actually, it's not closer at all. It was just the angle. In fact, it might actually be a little bit further. Yeah, there's no tower here, unfortunately. Well, whatever. Yeah, I think maybe this one's better, because if enemies go this way, then at least it'll be able to fire away at them. Explosive tower, please. Alright, and you're an explosive tower as well. Yes, yes. Alright, I believe that's good, minus the Spokal Stalkers. I'm a little bit wary of putting them in too much danger, though. Alright, let's do something like that. It's mostly the warp fire throwers that I care about here, and you know what? You can charge the warp fire throwers directly, and I think that's about all that we gotta do, right? I'm gonna assume so, yeah. You charge this, you charge the warp fire throwers. Let's pop the Tomb Swarm on them, and actually, you go for the warp grinders, charge on through, but don't get bogged down. I assume that they won't, okay, there's the warp fire throwers. Alright, Scorpion, just try to actually keep away so that they can't affect 2 units at once. Charge on through, don't get bogged down. Alright, the longer the enemy spends dealing with you, the more time that we have to... no, move forward, don't get hit by that. Alright, and like so. Alright, back away, back away. Alright, there we go, very nice Legionary Barrage, and then you charge on back through. Okay, we might actually have to move through the gate soon, as these guys will have been damaged by then. But if this army gets effectively destroyed like this... Oh, wow, yeah, the warp fire throwers are really putting in the work. Alright, you're gonna back off now. Kill the warp fire throwers. And I wonder if it's the warp grinders doing the damage. No, back off, back off, back off. You guys are too close to each other. Alright, back away. And switch so that they don't volley you. You're pretty slowed here, ain't you? Alright, go for the warp grinders now. Only the critical units. And you guys can go back in to the settlement, I mean. You will still be of use. Alright, time for you guys to come out and chase down any damaged units. And the warp grinders shouldn't, in theory, be able to close with us, alright? Alright, the units did get damaged, but they did not take so much damage that they will be useless here. Alright, the newly arrived units are hitting forward again, don't get hit. No, I clicked on the wrong thing. Yep. Okay, not what I wanted. Alright, good. And Scorpion, back off, please. Are you stuck? How are you stuck? You are not able to move? What is this? Huh. Was he stuck in the burrowing animation? Or is... Huh, what the heck? Look at this. Scorpion's not moving. It doesn't matter, because we have plenty of units where that came from, but still weird. Alright, and back up before the soul warp grinders get here. Back off, back off, back off. You back off. Alright, looks like we're okay there. Alright, you guys chase this down. You guys chase this down. Alright, you move this way. Oh, actually, you can charge those warp fire throwers real quick. You are going to return this way. Lovely. And, ooh, yeah, the damage is pretty severe on you now. Alright, back off. And charge, and charge. Alright, these guys are starting to make their way towards the gate or the walls. The Legionary Barrage will be up and running soon. You special extra Tomb Guard are going to go out that way. And we should be good here. Alright, these units are out. Towers are still firing away, I assume. Alright, these units are shattered. Okay, those Spectral Stalkers are done, but that's all good. As long as we clear out the weapons teams, none of that matters. Alright, Ushabti, you're gonna get ready to move this way, and hello, big old pile of enemies. Ain't you ready for that nice Legionary Barrage? See if I can make it right where it's supposed to be, right alongside the wall, like so. And then we'll pop this off here as well. Like so. Alright, they will get up on top of the walls, but that's fully expected. Alright, just gotta make sure that the weapons teams are gone. Alright, you charge this, you charge those warp fire throwers, they'll probably get a volley off on you, but that's okay. Necropolis Knights, go back out this way, you're gonna rear charge these guys. You need to reposition yourselves now. Here and here, you're gonna be able to fire up on top of those walls where the enemy is positioning them. Alright, good, and... okay, we don't care about the damage from these guys. We need to watch out for the warp fire throwers because they'll insta-kill you. Don't care about anything else. It's all in the weapons teams. The piles of clan rats don't matter at all. Alright, back away, back away, back away, and now they're repositioning. Nope, nope, just keep baiting them. Alright, good, charge. Beautiful. Now they're stuck. Get them, kill them. Fantastic. How are these guys doing? Alright, you guys... oh, I didn't mean to re-engage with you. That's my bad. I thought you were going to hide, but alas, not the case. Go and Spirit Leech this fella. Good luck getting through the Hyro Titan. And unfortunately, you can't fire on the enemy anymore, meaning I'd like you to back off here, please. Alright, Tomb Guard, move in here as well. I'm gonna hit the Ushabti. All good, though. And we need to deal with this guy. Alright. Scorpion, you're fine. Alright, good. You guys charge on into those gutter runner slingers. In fact, you're damaged, so hit him in the back. I mean, you know what? Actually, chase down and make sure that that unit of Warp Fire Throwers actually dies. Alright, Spectral Stalkers are dead. I'm being a little bit less careful with these units, obviously, because the, well, this is a, what is this? Plague Monks? Oh, yeah. This is a garrison battle, so it doesn't matter. Alright, we have the Avatar of the Gods now buff on the Ushabti, which is nice. Be able to, use your Shem's Burning Gaze. Is the gate down? Yeah, the gate is down. Pop that Shem's out there. Kill those Warp Grinders if you can. And I guess we can reposition you soon. Alright, you guys can back off now before you take too much damage. You guys get ready to move in again. And we do have another Legionary Barrage. Always lovely to see. Plenty more clan rats to barrage upon, if I can just aim this correctly. Like so. Didn't quite work out. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, well, good enough. Or at least as good as it's gonna get. Alright, you guys kill that lord. And hey, no. Okay, we should have to block off this gate. And you go for the enemy lord. Alright. Now we position everybody else here and get ready to chase down the gutter runners. Oh, would you look at that? The lord has made it through. You come down off of that tower. And you guys might need to reposition yourselves soon. So go like this. Alright, good. You guys get ready to move towards the gate. Wait, this guy got inside despite the fact that the gate is closed? Oh, and now he's gonna capture the gate. That's so rude. You go and snipe him, I guess. I don't even care if you kill the scorpion. Alright, everybody else is fine. We got the Necropolis Knights and the Hekaran Horsemen getting ready to charge on in. These guys are certainly on top of the walls, but it's not going to help them all that much, as long as you keep firing away. Enemy lords should be done for shortly. Let's in fact move the Scorpion away and towards the gate, and the rest of them should be done for. I wonder if the additional Avatar of the Gods range will... Oh, it won't give you range, it'll just buff you. Alright, enemy lord is done. You guys turn again, and turn again. Just fire sort of parallel to the walls. Though it looks like the enemy is very nearly done so. Or done for, rather. And you guys go charge, charge. We'll use the Necropolis Knights to charge units. They're a little bit more close to the gate. And, oh, the towers are firing at us now. Right, alright, never mind. Keep away then. Keep away until the towers have been retaken. And just a little bit longer, and you can just go up here. If the enemies flee those walls, they're dead. They can't really do anything about that. Alright, you guys just back off then. Until the towers are gone. We can slowly but surely retake them by moving our other units. And you guys just activate this for a little bit more damage. You are firing upon the enemies up there, unless I'm mistaken, so just keep doing that. Now, actually, we probably don't want to sort of lock those towers. Anyway, looks like the enemy has shattered at this point, and the towers are ours once again, so we can freely speed this up and move on in. There we go. Let the towers do the work, and I guess you can move out here and chase some jerkos. Maybe these jerkos? Pick a jerko. Any jerko at all. Alrighty, and okay, just gonna try to speed through this as much as possible. We don't expect everybody to die, but we do expect the enemy to have failed. As in their attack to have failed, so they should still lose at least some units here. So that they can't immediately do it again, because then we'd have to fight it again. Wait, were we able to auto-resolve this? I didn't even check. I just got excited about doing a siege. Is this the first siege that we've had, or like defensive siege that we had in this particular campaign? Or did we have another? I don't know. It is nice to be able to, you know, freely sacrifice units without having to worry about re-recruiting them, I gotta say. No, I wonder if we'd luck into any of the sort of units revive, Dune revival, Dune... or I don't remember what it's called. The thing that we get from the Books of Nagash. Interesting that we don't get a Necrotect out of the in the defenses, even in a high tier defense. Maybe we need a specific building to get them. It would be nice to be able to actually heal the constructs that we have in the garrison that make up such a huge part of Same Said Garrison. Yeah, obviously the constructs are going to be a lot more fragile without the Necrotech there to restore them. And I would figure that there would be more Necrotechs in cities as well. I believe we also had a mission to kill Micah 10 Scratch here, so I think that'll be, well, lovely. I guess we're going to... well, we don't need the money anymore. Might as well take the Bind Souls. And what is this? Ah, King Alcazar has intercepted this garbage army. Not worth fighting, though, so we'll auto-resolve. And you can have the... well, the healing is minimal, so I'm going to say Endless March. What is this? King Lamazash. Oh! Another underway interception. Wow, these guys are really eating those underway interceptions, poor rats. And this time, I think we're already close enough to the enemy settlement so that we're free to bind souls. Alright, the ally mobilized against settlement, great ally, Confederation Zufbar and Karazakarak, who interestingly don't like us very much. Ambush foiled King Alcazar, not that that seemed to have mattered all that much, and he's effectively back up to full HP. Now, I was gonna send him up here or over here, but we have to deal with the remnants of these forces, and now we got another one moving in, eh? You're still able to sally, aren't you? This lasts for 5 turns. Alright, so ally mission successfully, Vress and enemy killed in battle. Good, 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 good. Constructor, another Gambler's Armor. Faction destroyed Thegan's Errantry. Oh, I guess Zandri killed them. Settlement looted. Putrid Tarpits. They looted it, but did not... No, they did take it. Damn it. Okay, well. I was wanting to trade it to these guys, but you know what, whatever. Huh. Wait, but they're not at war with it. Interesting. Bog creepers have returned. Alright, well, we can send an army to retake it. Okay, whatever. It's not super critical, was just to fix the border gore of our allies. Ready for duty, Kawataman Lich High Priest. Sure. The Quickening, charge bonus for Skeleton Horse and the Hekaran Horse, ammunition for Archers and Horse, and reload time for Archers and Horsemen. An unusual location, Gateway of Eternity. What is this? Research rate plus 20, scaling corruption plus 30. Funnily enough, we no longer need the research, do we? Yeah, we have more than enough. It's probably not worth a huge amount of Skaven corruption, so we'll just destroy the location. Yeah. This doesn't seem to give us anything else, so destroy. Alright, goodbye. Thatep, are you able to reach Guardian Monoliths? Indeed you are, so head on over. Will these guys be able to take Baramos with all of their armies working on it together? We're just gonna have to find out. Too bad about the Charnel Valley Guardians, or whatever these guys are called, Guardians of the Valley, because I would have been happy to vassalize them. But unfortunately, since they had a territory that we needed with that pyramid, and they had to be destroyed anyway. A Nomad Stalk is next, I believe. Melee attack and melee defense, as well as a little bit of mass for all those Skeleton Horse. Why not? And I guess we start from the top again. Ooh, Settra. Alright, so... Huh. Did they not have a elite full stack here? Where did it go? Okay, wait, let's deal with this first. Kill. Unresolve. And heal. There we go. Huh, the sallying out thing is actually working nicely for us. And Blight 10 Scratch, are you part of this? It'll kill the Scorpion, yeah, because everything kills the Scorpion. Alright, just heal a little. One will be back next turn anyway. Lovely. Okay, well, Magorkan sort of took care of itself. Now, let's do a quick little mission check. Okay, so... Wait, where is King whatever? Oh, he's near the Oasis of Blood. Huh. I wonder if we should just peace out with them just so that we don't have to go up there. Blight is about to die, so we'll take Blight. Huh. You can have a thing for the camp? Oh, that's interesting. Alright, we'll go for the camp then. Golden Order, pick one, I don't really care about the Imperial troops, and then we'll pick Blight with you. Jade Court, I was hoping for Blight as well. Okay, so this guy's still back here at Brittle Peaks, but yeah, King M. Khatam is here. I assume he's gonna go for Oasis of Blood. At least it's a relatively minor territory. Out of curiosity, obviously these guys want peace. They don't like us very much. Guardian Monoliths. They wouldn't vassalize for it, at least not in its current state. And these guys haven't taken Baramos, so the border gore would continue. I'm willing to bet that they'd be able to next turn. I just guess... Oh yeah, this guy's gonna be able to reach Oasis of Blood next turn. Alright, I'm gonna think about it. For now, I'm going to delay doing anything about that and have Mr. Settra attack Blight here. See what we've got in terms of rats, generally speaking. Go, go, go. What are we looking at here? Oh, this guy just moved into the settlement. Alright, so he's got a pretty good stack there. The Mutant Rat Ogres, Rattling Guns, Poison Winds, and this one's a little bit more worth fighting, especially since it says Pyrrhic Victory and Casualties High for Settra's army. Granted, Settra's army is mostly tier 2, but nonetheless, go.
Forward, my legions! Settra
Alrighty, here we go. Settra versus big old pile of rats. And I do mean Settra, as we're certainly going to let him cut loose and enjoy the enjoy one of the enemy armies. Maybe not quite by himself, but let him do a lot of work. Anyway, I like seeing Settra together with his chariots. Doesn't get to do it often, and with the buffs that he provides, thanks to Unending Will, he does give them a fairly significant bump in their stats as well, and they're going to need it for crashing into the enemy line, though I'm sure they'll get in each other's way a little bit. It probably won't matter much, as this is just the sort of a tiny little pile of enemies that's not the real fight, which is going to be the reinforcements, especially with the elite enemies being made up out of the garrison, as well as, I guess, the army that decided to, you know, be complete cowards and head on into the enemy settlement. Anyway, shouldn't be a problem here. The chariots run down all of those clan rats, and it looks like all 4 of those units will run away, while Settra moves on to other rats. There's always more rats to move on to, fortunately. There we go. Oh, I love seeing all those units fly. And the plague monks are certainly not stopping. Settra will... Did he cast something? Or was that the enemy? I thought I saw something. Settra can't cast without miscasting, and I don't see that miscast on him. Not that he really needs to. I was originally going to give him that Skullstorm for the occasional cast, but I don't know if it's needed anymore. Anyway, Enemy Lord has decided to move towards our formation, perhaps to get away from Settra. Maybe he feels it's a little bit safer here, but I just don't think that's the case. And interestingly, he's on foot, so we're going to just taunt him by moving in little circles around him with both Settra and his pet Sphinx of Usak. There we go. They'll move around him while the Tomb Guard cut him down. That was just cruel. Reminds me when seeing Fast Thorgrim do that in his own campaign, since we had Thorgrim moving almost as fast as Settra in that run, which was pretty fantastic as well. Anyway, the enemy's reinforcements have arrived and will leave our main stack to sort of clean up what remains of the little army outside the enemy settlement, while Settra barrels towards the enemy army by himself. Let's see what he can do here, how much work he can put in, especially with all the enemy weapons teams here. Kind of might be a little bit difficult to charge through the rattling guns, maybe, or maybe not, we'll see. There's a lot of enemies out here, but if Settra gets bogged down, he'll pop off that Wrath of Petrine. That should look him just enough movement, or sort of space, to simply accelerate forward once more. Alright. Trees shouldn't hinder him all that much, because he does have Strider on him as well, and he'll just keep on going through the enemy army, which I believe doesn't have monsters. No, okay, it does have a couple, but they seem to be moving towards our main line. Anyway, without those monsters, they're just not going to be stopping Settra. There we go. Just keep on sending those rats flying, and like the other units, like the Venom Knights of SF, Settra is also applying Searing Flame to all the units that he connects with, meaning he's just dishing out that extra damage. 114 kills to his name so far, and 37,000 damage. The monsters, in the meantime, are moving towards our main army. Frankly, even if they had stayed to fight Settra, they probably wouldn't have been all that successful anyway. Mutant Rat Ogres look like they intend to target our boats. That's alright though. The Sphinx of Usak will move on in and send the first of the Rat Ogres flying. That's a pretty big mismatch in size and mass. Oh, the Rat Ogre jumps forward but gets knocked out of the sky and sent flying back by the massive Sphinx. Ouch. Unfortunate for the Rat Ogres, but I imagine that the Sphinxes will tear them to shreds, like nobody's business. Settra, in the meantime, is keeping about 90% of the enemy army busy by himself. He's still just moving around. He's not casting anything, he's just annoying them on his chariot. Completely unstoppable. And continuing to apply his damage over time ability. Alright, let him have his fun. The first of the Mutant Rat Ogres is down to about 20% of its HP. And oh, the enemy has moved in with a unit of Warp Grinders, activating that Seismic Snare and Warp Quake on our Tomb Guard. But the Tomb Guard will probably barely need to participate in this particular fight. Not much to say about these poor fools, as they're going to get destroyed. And hey, look at that, one of the mutant rat ogres has come back. They're both down to a tiny bit of HP, and even the Helped Abomination and the Grey Seer are probably going to have a pretty bad time of this soon. Anyway, Settra has annoyed the main force sufficiently, and has moved on in to just get a couple of charges into the big boys here. There we go, running down all of those storm vermin as he heads towards the enemy lord, and Helped Abomination gets that charge in, and then keeps mowing down the foe. Can't be allowing this portion of the enemy army to close the distance after all. So here we go with another charge. These types of lords are just so fun to play. I remember having so much fun with Serena Catrin in the exact same way with her war sled. And of course, Serena Catrin is also a very nasty caster, so it was racking up similar sorts of damage counts and just obliterating infantry while casting big spells on the enemy. Which I guess if we take the Chalice of Malfleur from Settra, we could in theory do the same. But does he even need it? Alrighty, anyway. Accelerate through the enemy once more. How's that bounce power looking? About 90% in our favor. Looks like the Helped Abomination and probably the Grey Seer have both fallen. The giant mutant rat ogres are out, and frankly, Settra has nearly destroyed the enemy army here. Since the enemy army is starting to draw close to the rest of our units, we summon a Skullstorm on top of the unit of rattling guns to make sure that they can't fire upon our units of Sphinxes, as they can obviously dish out a fair bit of damage to them if we let them, but let them we do not. The bounce power shifts to 100% in our favor, and with that, the battle is ours. This was just cruel, at least, Settra just showing off the entire time. And we never got to activate the first Realm of Souls level, but we do at the last second as the unit melts away, the summoned unit melts away. The game just had to do it at that very last second to make a liar out of me. Lovely fight. Alrighty, there we go. Settra, an absolute menace. 756 kills and over 100,000 damage. Keeping in mind he doesn't have Skullstorm and he used no spells. That was 100% all natty Chariot and just rushing through the enemy army. Completely unstoppable and pretty obnoxious. I think it was pretty clear that Settra could have taken the entire enemy army himself without too much trouble, especially now that he has that Chalice of Malfleur, which effectively makes him invincible due to that battle healing cap plus 500%, at the cost of being able to cast spells without miscasting, but it's pretty worth it in my opinion. Anyway, we can, I guess, heal because we'll have to auto-resolve what remains here. Yeah, sure, heal. Find souls, the remnants of that little army will run away, but this place is done for, this faction is done for, and Settra will be outie. Ally mission successful? Oh, nice. Ooh, yes, one of those ally mission successfuls was the Cathans, meaning, wait, don't even destroy that yet. I would like you, I assume that, please tell me you can reach this. Yes, and please tell me you can take it without us having to move Lamazashin, because I want to immediately get him recruiting his other terracotta automatons. And Pyrrhic Victory, yeah, it looks good to me. Just auto-resolve this. I mean, it's mostly clan rats. It's only saying Pyrrhic Victory because the auto-resolve hates us. And Clan Festerlingus is now destroyed. Free Talisman of Endurance, Storm of Necromancy, and we can pop into Worship of Construction Reduction for a turn before we trade this to Ashiotla. Entomb Beneath the Sands. Then, actually, do we want to go this way? There's nothing over here for us now. We could go out here and fight some Slaaneshi, or we could cross the sea. We still do potentially want to do some stuff up here. I will think about it. For now, get rid of both of these. And replace them with Agents of the Moon, 2 more terracotta automatons. Fantastic. You're going to be stuck here for 2 turns, but otherwise, happy about it. Kalita, you're ready to go as well, aren't you? Yes, indeed you are. Alright, well, you're going north. fight some orcs. Yeah, if this doesn't work, we'll replace them with coatl, because they're flying snakes. And I know that Oshiotla can build coatl, so we're good. Alrighty, so Kalita, away you go. Nothing else needed to be built here. Well, I mean, construction cost reduction doesn't really matter much anymore. Alrighty, and now we're good. Okay, Settra, back to you. You can go for Cursed Pit and auto-resolve it, and it's going to damage us more than the actual fight did, because of course it will occupy. Alright, Cripple Peak secured, Worship of Construction reduction, keep the Funerary District, but delete this, and the Gashazar can immediately be upgraded to Tier 4, which will be good. It won't enable us to build the thing, the Great Halls of Nagashazar, but we don't really care about it because it's kind of terrible anyway. Frankly, I'm not even sure it's worth it because it's plus 50 vampiric corruption. This place will be permanently corrupted. And we get basically, I mean, yay. The XP, and it's unit XP, it's not even character XP again, just for fighting vampire counts and coast, which are effectively too far away from us to be encountered again. But it's the principle of the thing. Even if we don't build the landmark, we could just keep holding on to the location. Ooh. Look at that. 3 armies moving in march stance. This would be a potentially good time to turn on Xandri. We are still a little bit further away from their main territories than I'd like, meaning they might be able to hit us at the Key of Seftu. I'm not sure. I'm 99% sure that they had another army up here. I wish we could see where their other armies were. Also, you go this way. It is a good time to wipe out their armies, though, I gotta say. Ugh, if only we could take their caskets. Would be nice. And I want you out here just to see if we can't find any more landmarks. I am curious to see, and... Oh! Look at that, yeah, our allies are moving this way. If we declare war on Xandri, then right now the problem is these guys will attempt to take some of these territories, which I'm not super happy about. You're causing problems again. Minus 97, and it appears to be still at minus 97, eh? Yeah, they're the only ones that are kind of... Yeah, everybody else loves us. These guys not so much. They don't like the treaties with basically all of our vassals, which is kind of interesting. Wait. So you don't like Golden Order or Knights of Calidor, but let's see. Wait, what? Oh, Cult of Mordig. I would like to see how you feel about each other. You actually don't dislike each other. Actually quite positive. Huh? But then why are you pissed off about us being friends if you like each other now? Wait, maybe it's the other way around? No! What the heck? Wait, I'm confused. So is this just being... Is this just the game being obnoxious here? Because look, wait. They condemn treaties with... Oh, Toriverse is not there. Okay, but they do condemn treaties with the Defenders of the Great Plan. So presumably this means that they hate the Defenders of the Great Plan, and they hate each other. 15 and 86. So they really shouldn't be condemning it that hard. Okay, maybe it'll just fix itself. I'm going to leave it alone for now. Okay, I gotta think about this thing, whether it's a good idea to attack Xandria or wait a little bit. We do want to get an army up to Xandria itself, because they might be able to potentially take a bunch of territories, and I really wouldn't want to lose a tier 5 location for it. Wouldn't be worth it, right? Anyway, setup. You're the best sort of candidate to go up here. Too bad we don't have... Well, we do have a port at Khemri, but it's probably not worth our time going down there. Might actually be faster to go around like this, rather than go through the water. But it will still take a while. And there isn't any easy way to cross here, is there? Well, actually, there is a way up here, isn't there? You could cross this like this, I think? Yeah. Although it's still saying it's faster to go this way. Alright, fine, just start on. Start on your way this way. We'll see you there in a bit. Yeah, as good as opportunity this feels, I think we're gonna have to ignore it. At least for now. Just ignore it. We got other things to do. Go here. We gotta wait until we hit Xandria itself. Alright, Hakor. You are proceeding... Okay, actually you're going quite far, so go all the way to Karakazul from here. And see if you can't find a few more Moors. Alright, colonize ruins. That's not actually going to colonize them. It's just going to identify a pile of enemies. Yeah, there we go. Caragnar, I'm wondering where their main territories are. Ooh. Oh, wow. Minus 172. Oh, we may have to fight some dwarfs. They hate the fact that we're friendly with the Golden Order because presumably the Golden Order bloke all their alliances. And oh, Warband is moving up here. Well, hopefully our vassals can deal with him, because if they can't, we're going to have to move an army to deal with them ourselves. Fortunately, we got more armies being built, so we can always send one up there. Anyway, King Wakaf, move up here to the Eyrie of the Watcher, which we will next turn besiege and then fight some Khornates. Should be fun. Rakash, you're sort of good to go, so start moving this way. Minus the fact that oh, right, I wanted to see this. So, yeah, the Bright Shields here got built without the bonus armor. So that didn't help. But I assume Carrion can be built with the bonus armor. I think we'll take advantage of it. And just so that the Carrion army is a little bit more viable. So we need 6 of these, meaning we need to make room. The Bright Shields can be built at any point. I hate to lose a high-level Tomb Guard, but let's do this. That's 4. And we need to make 2 more. Who takes multiple turns to build and who takes 1? I don't remember. Tomb Guard should take 2, right? Scorpions take 2. Oh, these guys take 1, but that's only 1 of them. That doesn't really help. Alright, get rid of these 2 Necropolis Knights. I'm not sure that oh, actually, we did need them. Damn it. They're there for contact effect. Oh, well. Grab these Carrion. And we'll replace these Carrion with them, and I'll just transfer the names over. Yeah, we lose some veterancy, but at the same time, the 20 armor, plus the however much armor we get out of this. Plus the additional 20 armor will give the Carrion 60 armor. Will that make them less fragile? Probably not significantly, but, you know, slightly more effective. Anyway, Alamazash, alright, you're gonna be sitting there for 2 turns. Alcazar, I guess you're going this way. There's potential for tons more rats up there, but if we can quickly take their territories from Verms, considering they lost a bunch of their armies, they might not be super effective. Ooh, I do notice the orcs are moving down here. Huh, they could actually jump on over to Cursed Pit if they wanted to, couldn't they? Well, we're just going to have to leave it to them. If that happens, it happens. Jocht, you're going to have to keep on waiting. Katep, you are in need of your Tutmos, who's going to have to give chase to you. And otherwise, your army is fine. You just need the second Casket of Souls. You're going the same way as King Setep, aren't you? Huh. Maybe we do a little bit of a contest. We see who reaches the place first. One goes by water, one goes by land, or one goes up and one goes down. Lanashi giggle. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Give it a try. See who gets there first. Forcing Katep to race seems like something Settra might enjoy. Anyway, keepers, we can ignore a scout. Again, I might delete, but for now, just keep running around here, seeing what's going on. Seeing what factions are around, what factions we can declare war on, what factions we can potentially vassalize. I don't think there's anything down here that we haven't already seen. Alrighty. I believe, other than building, that's pretty much it. We don't have to attack anybody here, do we? I mean, we do have to transfer these territories. Well, I guess we could immediately give you the Village of the Leopard Skins. Village of Leopard Skins, just so we don't have to look at it. Enjoy. Don't bother giving us your money. We don't need it. And we'll do the same with the Idol of Nero and stuff once we're out of here. Yeah. Alright, so that's good. Have you taken this territory yet? No. Alright, we already checked because we waited for this guy who's going to take Oasis of Blood. And we haven't invested in it a crazy amount. Maybe we could trade it around for this guy, or we just peace out now. But I really want to give these guys a chance, one turn to actually take that place. And then maybe we peace out and redeclare. You're still March stance, right? Ooh, okay, now you can't move that way. That's why we had you here with the defenses up and running. I'm just gonna have to leave that there. Maybe fun to fight those guys at Brittle Peaks with another army if it comes down to it, which, well, I guess remains to be seen. For now, though, let us build buildings and then end the turn. Fortunately, there aren't too many buildings to be buildified. We don't need the burial pits. This needs to wait until tier 5. What can we build here that would be useful to us? I guess let's do a couple of purple buildings. We don't need more capacities after all. Let's do that. Slight buffs to all of the big constructs. Next up we've got... Okay, so we got the important stuff here. We do not have the Royal Burial Chamber though. And then I guess we'll start with a ruined War Sphinx Shrine. Good enough for me. City of Scholars. Yes, keep building the Mortuary Sanctum, and until that's completed, you can build nothing else. Golden Plain, real quick. We've got the other stoneworks and stuff. Scarab City. We are waiting for Numas to be upgraded to tier 5, so we're ignoring you and continuing to do so. Quarry of Bone, however, we are free to build the Pyramidion. Alright, and the rest is good. T-shirt up to tier 5, isn't that lovely? And yeah, okay, you have the Hidden Sanctum, which is the main thing, but you no longer need the Grand Ossuary. You, Lamia, can now build the tier 4 Restored Tomb, which will give us now access to the Hidden Sanctum. And anything else here that's important? I mean, we could build the Undead Quarryman, I guess. And then otherwise, just build a couple of these. Nothing else critical. I mean, I guess in theory we could build a lone column, but I'm not sure that we need it anymore. Yeah, alright, go double Sphinx building. Oh, well, I guess once you reach tier 5, fair enough. Alright, and then keep building these here. Lovely. City of Corpses. City of Scholars and City of Corpses. In some ways, they're all cities of corpses. Crumbling... Wait, actually, you know what? Let's build the Pyramidion here and then here instead. And then delete you, and then obviously build the stoneworks here, and then we no longer need this at Quattar. Good. Shaded Way. We already have the... Okay, we need the Hidden Sanctum, but we have the Royal Burial Chamber, which we can follow up with Undead Quarryman. Good. Place should be reasonably defensible. We're ignoring the Cursed Jungle because it's going to be traded. Lost Ruins. Why did I build an obelisk here? Oh, it's to get the public order up and running. We could just uncollect the income, but I don't think we care enough. Alrighty. Giant Stomping Grounds. Potentially will be traded away, so let's just build it up in whatever military fashion we can. Necropolis of Numas has reached its max, so we can freely now... Well, I actually can't build this yet. Yeah, okay, just leave it alone then. Since we can't build anything at this place, though, and we can upgrade. Like so, and then I guess go for the... I wonder whether it might be a good idea to build defensive structures on the coastline here. In fact, just in case, I'm gonna say build a skeletal garrison here, and... Well, we could... At the very least here. To protect the precious, perfect vigor for Ushabti location. It's too good to pass up. And Nagashazar. We don't really care about either of these, so we can just leave them alone. I believe that's it. Alrighty. Any building, any diplomacy to do? We have a mission from the Jade Court, and probably we'll never complete that one. I'll just take it anyway. What's the worst that could happen? Right, so we got 13 turns until another casket, and that sounds like an end turn to me. Sorry, Oasis of Blood, I guess we're gonna have to let you go. Yeah, the border gore would bother me too much if these guys just hold on to that. We'll deal with it. End turn. Alright, spend multiple turns in ambush. Alright, this guy's been sitting here for ages in ambush stance, which, you know, fair enough. Ally occupies settlement A. Perfect. Okay, so now we are free to peace out with these guys. Alright, and I assume... Oh, we don't have time to build the Guardian monoliths up to vassalize them immediately, but we very well might and leave the Charnel Valley to them, so peace out with you now. And we're not going to do the non-aggression pact. We're not going to take their pathetic 1.4k money. Peace out. There you go. And they don't hate us because Tomb Kings kind of just generally don't hate you, no matter what. Anyway, King Thutep, you are no longer needed here. The question is, to where do we go? Well, we actually can travel up the river reasonably quickly with you, so you're going north. Your army is complete after all, or at least more or less complete. I was thinking about putting another mage in your army. Yeah, we could. Shadows, what kind of mage would be good here? You, Nehekar, would have access to Skullstorm. Death would give us Soul Blight, and Light would give us... Well, we could probably spam... Pause protection on you. Barona's Time Warp will buff up the damage of all the units. It won't make them tankier, though. But the Pause protection will. We have more Lich Priest of Death in other locations, and... although, on the other hand... other than the Necrosphinxes, well, no, we have a lot of things in here that could handle single targets or single entities, so it's not that bad. I'm gonna say go with Light this time. Shadow, I think... well... actually, now that I think about it, Occam's Mind Razor will imbue magical attacks, which we lack on the War Sphinxes and the Necro Sphinxes, and Jet Lions have it. Huh. Maybe that would be better. Enfeebling Foe wouldn't really help us in this particular case. Pit of Shades is always nice to have, though. Yeah, maybe Occam's Mind Razor is the way to go. Oh, wait, is there anything that could buff up our attack? Because the War Sphinxes have extremely low attack, don't they? Their melee defense is super high, so fast protection doesn't actually help them so much as the Jet Lions. And yeah, I don't think we have anything that will buff up our attacks, as opposed to debuff the enemy. Though again, significantly debuffing the enemy works to buff our attacks, so frankly Usek's Incantation of Desiccation might be the better pick here anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna say go with Shadows. Evasion and... oh, only Evasion. You don't need Evasion. What do you have? You have Frenzy. You know what you need? You need the Healing Potion one. Alright, I guess we'll wait. We'll wait for the appropriate unit. Ooh, Necrotech check, Intelligent. Been a while since I checked these guys. Well, not really a while, but you know. And delete. And just keep looking. Alright, next up we've got... alright, so we've... Bone Edifice will finish the Second Dynasty research, and will help our archer units. Have we traded the Carrion? Well, not traded, but you know, built the Carrion. Alright, so you are still recruiting, and you will need to give those to Kata, but you can swap out the slightly stronger Carrion for the ones built here, and I'll redo their names between the episodes. Like so. Lovely, and then you can keep on moving. I was actually contemplating whether instead of the Eagles we go with a bunch of the Cathian Sky Lanterns, because I really like the unit in SFO. But I don't know, the Eagles will mix nicely with the Carrion. The Eagles provide bleed, the Carrion will all provide armor sundering, and maybe it'll work? I don't know. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure if this army will be functional or not, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, Settra, you need to hunt down this little fella. You should be destroyed, and then the Cursed Pet you can be upgraded and build your defenses as needed. Auto-resolve. And definitely Endless March, because you gotta be marching. Wormslayer Sword. Oh, right, I don't particularly like this one, because the... Yeah, it doesn't even... yeah, I don't like this. I remember getting it in other campaigns and thinking, why would I use this? I don't really see it being particularly beneficial. Anyway, Settra, you gotta get the heck out of here. Let's upgrade Gates of Nagashazar as well. Gotta get those defenses maxed out. And... oh! Wait, we can build the Green Skulls too? Oh, I thought we weren't able to. Interesting. I thought that was unique to... I guess we do have to get the Great Halls of Nagashazar then. Fair enough. At max level, the Mortiferous Sanctuaries give us Corruption -6. So that gives us Mind plus 50 Vampiric Corruption. We're probably better off with just going with a bunch of Keepers if we can get that many to counteract this. Or we could just allow it to be corrupted, but kind of on the fence about that one. Anyway, let us temporarily build the growth structure. Settra, keep on moving, buddy. Panet, you are on the way to... are we at war with these rats? I guess we're about to find out. Go into Great Dynasty's stance, see what's over here. Or did these rats refuse to join when we declared war on their ally? What do we have? Oh, there's nobody here. Never mind. From a Necromancy, sure, and crypts. Weird. I thought this was full of rats. I guess we have to go here anyway. Kind of tempted to move up here and see if there's any more landmarks, but just go here. Scout. And okay, this one's full of rats. Okay, fair enough. Now we can't even guess which place is full of rats and which one's not. Anyway, you go here. A wheel rat. I love it. I absolutely love it. You can go here to Nazcadrin and check what's going on there. Presumably it is also full of rats. Yeah, although they at least somewhat share a territory with the challengers of corn. Alright, there we go. Huh. Although some of these territories might have actually been torn down by corn, so we gotta watch out for that. You walk up, gonna go into Great Dynasty stance, you're gonna besiege this place, declare war now, yes. Come on. Alright, there we go, I thought the game was gonna crash. Besiege and we'll let them sally out. I'm sure they will. Look at all that stuff. Ooh, they got a slaughter brute. They actually built a slaughter brute. Huh, that's actually kind of impressive. Always surprised to see the AI build anything high tier, but it's a tier 5. Let's see how it stands up to the snake shotguns. Anyway, what do we want out of this? I believe we were just going for Walkoff's personal capabilities. Let's go for hard to hit. And I believe that's it. Alright, Necrotech, you only have the snakes above here, which you've already done via Spring the Trap. And I guess we're going to Tomb Strike now, yes? Alright, Conqueror, 2 points in hard to hit, and, oh, well, 1 point so far. Alright, and then Lich Priest of Nehekara. And just keep on, well, you know, let's get second point in Nusex, but otherwise go through Runic Staff. Alright, looks good. As soon as we end the turn, it'll be a nice fight against the forces of Khorne. I believe the first fight, in fact, against the forces of Khorne. We do have to watch out for that rampage that they cause as well. Anyway, you, Scorpion King, are out of here. I guess we could, well, stay in, oh, you're gonna suffer attrition if you, okay, fine. I can't tell if you can go out into this, into the water immediately. Give it a try. Yes, you can. Alright, and you'll heal up there just the same, and it'll be faster to go up there and via the water. And frankly, we'll probably do the same thing with Lamazage. Lead is already swimming. What is this? Shipwreck? Grab it, I guess. It's on the way. And we might pick up a lost cargo, which would mean extra growth, and extra growth is always nice. Explore the island. Oh, okay, this will show us whether the auto-resolve is going to kill our... tomb barks. Okay, this one won't, but it will damage them as well as... Why would it damage the Necrotech? Okay. Resolve. Okay. Huh, materials at sea. I mean, that's nice, but it doesn't... We don't really get any benefit from it anymore. This is a mysterious island, so we can just grab that without fighting. Why would the Necrotech get hurt? You're on a chariot, so it's saying that because you're on a chariot, you're... Actually, you're equal speed with the Sepulchral Stalkers, so why would they get completely unhurt and then you get massively damaged? What are you talking about, game? Alright, well, either way, we gotta land here, so... Go. I don't think we can pick up the other shipwreck, or at least we can, but not without auto-resolving, and you can see what's happening there. And, oh, Kalita, you've reached rank 50. Good for you. Woundmaker. Desert Strike. You can definitely make use of the additional massive amount of charge bonus. Definitely get Graceful Warrior as well. More speed and melee defense. Indomitable, I believe, is completely useless. We can get ceremonial bandages, however. 15 armor is something. And you have, oh right, you have Sun-Scorched Bones, but we need Arrows of Asaph, which will leave us 3 points. Have you buffed? Okay, so you have Elite Cavalrymen. Oh, we need Stone Sentinels to buff the Sepulchral Stalkers. So yeah, you have... I wanted to get you Canopic Jar Hoarder. Unfortunately, it looks like we can't if we want to get the... max everything out. But what can you do? Alright, fair enough. Alright, we'll go for Stone Sentinels for the Sepulchral Stalkers, and might as well just get Restful Internment in case you ever get low enough HP. Alright, and the rest of you guys will deal with the points later, just so that I don't have to do it now. Usually I like to do them pre-battle, because they do, again, just sort of passively rack up. Anyway, Alcazar, go in... stay in ambush stance. Go to Karag-Haraz. I wasn't originally intending to start all this fighting with the Skaven, but we just gotta really link up with the with the elves nearby, and then that'll deal with it. Anyway, Jock, you're no longer needed here because these guys love us. And thus, you are free to deliver all of these units, it's mostly the Bastille Dome with solar engines, out here to Khemri, wherein we will create a Petra army, though I'm kind of on the fence about using the Basties with solar engines now as opposed to the Jade Lions because they're constructs, but we'll see. I will consider it. Anyway, you go up here. To Xandri, everybody goes, and now Tutmos, you can keep... This is the right Tutmos, right? Yeah, you can keep giving chase to Katep. You should actually be able to catch him, I think. It shouldn't be too bad. Only a couple of turns of this. And then Scout, keep on scouting. Prince Temp's already scouted. Did I do buildings this turn, or was that last turn? The turns are melding together. Okay, I did not do them this turn, meaning... What I also did not do is diplomacy and, yes, mission checks. Alright, Wheel Rat, yes. Ghost of Pawash, okay, I care about you more right now. Scrag the Slaughterer. Yeah, why not? We can take on Scrag. And Demon Breaker Bullgrog the Carver. Sure. Wheel Rat or Big Bellower Era. Just pick them, pick all the different ones. And... I think we already took the camp. Oh, these guys are close by now. Oh, wait. Close by, they are probably going to attempt to bypass this location, aren't they? To go for other locations. However, since you're in march stance, we could do this again. Sally out and kill them. Again, 750 is a lot of canopic jars, but it's better than sending an army down here. Alright, Pyrrhic Victory? I mean, I guess it is a garrison territory. Yeah, you know what? I think this is actually worth fighting. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Go.
Sacrifice them!
Alrighty, here we go. I'm very excited for this battle. I think it'll be a really fun one. Let's see if this Tomb Prince can lead the garrison to victory against the Savage Orcs, who have their base 40%, I believe, physical resistance on every single unit, and we have no magical damage whatsoever in the entire army, with the sole exception of the Screaming Skull Catapult. So even the Ushabti with Great Bow are not going to be dishing out too much damage, though I'm willing to bet that there'll still be the main source of the damage that we deal. It's not like the Tomb Guard are going to be able to, you know, face off against Bone Clubbers or Savage Orc Biggins, especially out of that second army. Oh, and I got 4 units of Trolls as well, and so much cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another 5, and they had 10 units of cavalry, yeah. That's going to be an issue, certainly. I don't even know if we can protect our single unit of Screaming Skulls when we're gonna need them. Anyway, the enemy continues to sort of mill around a little bit. We're trying to do as much damage as we can to whatever units we can hit, essentially, with our Ushabti with Great Bow. With that physical resistance, though, a lot of those units that get knocked down and just get up again. Well, let's see if we can do anything with a few charges from our Necropolis Knights. Halberds or not, I suppose it doesn't matter. Just going to try to do that morale shock to the enemy, apply a little bit of damage, and maybe send them fleeing. But also, we obviously can't get bogged down for too long, as these units will get damage. Again, being a garrison and all, we don't have Lord buffs to rely upon. And thus could very much be in danger very quickly. I'm gonna move in to stop a unit of Savage Orc Boar Boys from moving closer to our units of Ushabti with Great Bow. And maybe even move a few Tomb Guard in to protect them. We have to keep these guys firing for as long as they can, rather than retreating behind our lines, simply because the second army is moving onto the battlefield, and this first army is only at about half of its HP, maybe even more than that. Lots of its units are still very healthy. We gotta do as much damage as possible before the second army moves on in. Alright, come on, knock out a few more Boar Boys before they reach us, and then if we have to, we'll back up behind the lines of Tomb Guard, but fortunately we have got the first unit moving in to intercept the enemy, should they reach us. Alright, and this unit of Savage Orc Boar Boys will get stopped by the Tomb Prince, that Cavalry Bane working nicely for us, preventing the enemy from easily sort of extricating themselves from the situation and allowing the Tomb Guard to close the distance and help out as well. That said, the reinforcements are here. Way more cav has arrived, and we're just going to have to try to do our best to hold the line and allow the Ushabti with great bow to keep firing. Does look like the enemy will take advantage of the gaps in our formation and the fact that they outnumber us to try to close the distance with some of the Ushabti through the gaps, and we're going to have to plug those gaps with snakes as the Necropolis Knights move on in to hopefully prevent the enemy from engaging our range units. If the Ushabti with great bow should stop firing, I don't think we have a prayer in this fight. The first enemy army is still very much not destroyed yet, and the balance of power is slightly in our favor at about 55%, but it is still looking rather iffy. How are our Tomb Guard doing? The ones that are being attacked by trolls are very much in trouble. The trolls doing that armor-piercing damage and area damage to the Tomb Guard, knock him out rather quick. So we're going to try to position our Scorpions to block off as many trolls as possible and distract them. We'd rather have the trolls fight the constructs, who they are not as likely to dish out a massive amount of damage to as they are to the Tomb Guard. Otherwise, the enemy is still trying to find those gaps in our formation and get around our units to engage our Ushabti with great bows, trying to move our skeleton horses or our Nehekar horse and our Tomb Guard, our prince, our snakes, whatever we can, just to shadow and intercept any enemy units heading towards those Ushabti so that we can keep them firing. The entire battle absolutely hinges on this. And it looks like we've been doing a decent job so far. Bone Clubbers have arrived in numbers. I believe 3 have hit the left flank. It looks like the Tomb Guard on the left flank is going to be obliterated soon. The Bone Clubbers also have that physical resistance reduction and magical damage on them, so if they're a very scary unit to have a 76 melee attack and 40% physical resistance. Alright, and the enemy's also firing back a little bit at us, and the Savage Orc Error Boys are a pretty threatening unit to Ushabti with great bow as well, as they are anti-large as opposed to the regular Orc Boys. Bonus versus large 10 isn't too huge, but I've definitely sniped many an enemy large unit with the same units. Have definitely a healthy respect for the Savage Orc Error Boys, and the Orc Error Boys, generally speaking, savage or not, are just as capable in melee as or at least dishing out damage in melee, as regular Orc Boys are, so gotta watch out for that as well if we should charge them with our snakes. Speaking of our snakes, looks like one of the enemy Boar Boy units has gotten through and engaged 2 units of Ushabti with great bow, which were a little bit too close to each other. But fortunately, the snakes managed to reposition themselves, and the Necropolis Knights destroyed the unit of Boar Boys. On the left flank, the same thing is happening, and one of our now severe damaged Necropolis Knights with halberds moves to re-engage another unit of Boar Boys and allow the Ushabti to move back and keep firing. Alright, how's that balance power looking? Hey, we've activated the first Realm of Souls levels. Still not going to be able to summon the Ushabti here, I'd wager. And the balance of power has shifted to about 60% in our favor, but the battle is still very much anyone's. Enemy Boar Boys are constantly cycle charging across the map. We're just trying to pin as many of them as we can, and where possible, ride them down with our Nehekarn horse. We unfortunately have to let most of the enemy units rout and then rally, as we just don't have the numbers to constantly pressure them. And with them rallying, it means constantly repositioning and retargeting the Ushabti with great bow at units that are coming back, so that the newly re-arriving Boar Boys can't then charge the Ushabti with great bow. Still, the front line is engaged, though I believe our first unit of Tomb Guard is done for. A second one is nearly done for as well. And if we're not careful, the front line will soon collapse. Not that we would be able to do too much about it, just generally speaking, just have to hold the line. Our Tomb Prince would, I'm sure, love to activate the Curse of Jeff, but because he's fighting Bone Clubbers, he's silenced and can't use his ability. Still, the Ushabti with great bow are firing, even as all the rest of our units are nearly done for. I see some trolls and Boar Boys now attempting to charge those Ushabti with great bow. But it looks like a few of those big ol' arrows their way sends them off once again. This has repeated itself like a dozen times already. Here's another unit of Boar Boys attempting to do the same thing. And just gotta knock out a few of them before they reach those Ushabti. Come on, and there we go, another unit is broken. We do have one healthy unit of Tomb Guard that was protecting the right flank, which is now trying to move into the center and retake the position where the other units of Tomb Guard are. These two are all that remains of the Tomb Guard that was the front line now. And I believe one of the Scorpions is done for, and the other one is in a very bad shape as well. The Tomb Prince himself is down to 10 to 15% of this HP, but it's all working as long as those Ushabti with Great Bow keep on working. Kind of a repeat in some sense of the battle where we saw King Lamizash and his Ushabti or Construct army face off against Nicolander the Blade of Scalaro, who was that book holder that saw Lamizash's army nearly destroyed. But because we were able to keep those Ushabti with Great Bow and his army firing, they were able to carry the day for us at the end. Although these ones are very close to being out of ammunition, obviously their stats are nowhere near to the same level as the Ushabti army's stats are. On the bright side, it looks like, if just barely so, we managed to pull this one off. Our front line is pretty much gone, but once again, the Great Bow Ushabti managed to win it for us. And these are the Garrison Ushabti. Plus, I would be willing to bet that the Avatar of the Gods ability, which we did use and activate several times in this particular fight, did help them out a fair bit. Yeah, notice that everybody else is diminished or debilitated or drained. The Ushabti with Great Bow, their vigor is all fine because of the perfect vigor, and on top of that, the extra damage coming in from the Avatar of the Gods probably helped them do all that much needed work. A really, really fun fight. I'm really glad that we sallied out here. I think this was, this would have been a lot, well, this was very fun fighting it like this rather than behind our walls. Plus, the constructs admittedly would probably have fared a little bit less effectively behind those walls, since for whatever reason you can't put the Ushabti up there. If you're telling me Ushabti can't climb stairs, I'd be calling you ridiculous, but you know, that's the game apparently. Alright, there we go. Gotta admit it was a pretty awesome fight with the Savage Orcs massively resistant to all of our physical damage and with us having effectively no magical damage to rely upon. It was pretty much try to hold the line while the Ushabti did all the damage. And the Screaming Skull Catapult actually outdid them, but that probably because it does magical damage, whereas everything else here does not. Really, really nice fight. The lack of the Necrotect and the heroes and all the stuff we have in a normal army as opposed to a garrison really worked out here for the best. We're going to bind souls for the healing. One army is in march stance and is destroyed, and the other army is not going anywhere now. Probably too damaged to threaten us, though I do wonder whether they... they moved back into their own territory. That actually kind of works reasonably well for them, but nonetheless, I'm actually having a lot of fun with this Sally Out ability. I guess it is worth the canopic jars after all, go figure. Anyway, that was fun. Now I'm forgetting what we had to still do this turn, if anything. Did we do the building? I don't believe we did. Alright, well then building it is. Real quick. I would like to end the turn if possible. Kahidun, City of Scholars, Libaras, we are waiting for. Golden Plain, we are not. Let's upgrade. You, Pyramid of Tutankhamun. Why did I keep the obelisk here? Your max... Oh, I kept this so that we could build the carrion, but we no longer need those. And the growth is fine for one more turn. But otherwise, we're good. You're going to keep on recruiting. These carrion will... Okay, right, I'll try to not forget to redo the names, and then these guys are going to have to be delivered to Kotep. Okay, so where was this? That was Necropolis of Numas. Okay, Scarab City is next. Yes, Numas will be upgraded to Tier 5, and we cannot build anything else yet, so we can keep the Regnant Catacombs, but not for much longer. Cursed City, and go for the Memorial Masons. Devil's Backbone, go for the basic upgrades that we do everywhere. Like so, and the Undead Quarrymen, of course. City of Corpses. Like so, and might actually be more worth it to just build the Hidden Sanctums now. rather than the Golden Age monuments. I mean, in theory, the faction-wide growth is still useful, but it's probably not as useful. A, as it once was, and B, as it could potentially be. As in the other thing. But we'll keep doing what we're doing currently, and then we'll see. I'll think about it. Might rearrange, might not bother. Test shirt. Yes, okay, so you could just build all 3 of these. 1 and 2 and 3. Lovely. Shaded Way, yes to the ancient whatevers. And Cursed Jungle, we are going to be trading away. I'll maybe do that between the episodes. Lost Ruins, where are you again? Oh, this place, alright. Well, keep getting Public Order. In fact, just stay in Worship of SF, you're fine. Giant Stomping Grounds. Still fully intending on trading you, but the Border Gore is now not something we can... and then these guys are probably going to take that. Whatever, I don't care. Watch them retake this location. Gonna be a little bit salty about it, I don't deny. Alright, you can replace this with a military structure then. Anyway, Crippled Peak. Nagashazar can't do anything there as yet. Oh, actually, we can do one thing. We can build up a Royal Burial Chamber. So that's something. Charnel Valley, Guardian Monoliths, replaced with all military structures until we vassalize these guys. Will their vassalage do anything for us? No, but all Nehekara must belong to Settra, either directly or by vassal. Oh, this is the way that we're doing this. And lumber yard, please, here. And then, yeah, build the sandstone walls in case the fight for Zandri causes us some problems. Anyway, we're drawing closer and closer to the next book, and then Zandri is on the path to the last one, so certainly getting there. Anyway, I believe that's the end turn, unless I'm mistaken, so we can just freely skip. What outpost? I'll build this. I did want the ghostly units. That's still the case. And now it's... Huh. Now it's dropping. Why would it be dropping? You're at war with like 50 factions. It's so weird. Okay, you guys like each other, but I guess you don't like each other the other way around. Let me just see here. They are angry at us for being friends with all of these guys, who they apparently love. Look at this. So, these guys love the Golden Order, but are immensely pissed at us for having treaties with the Golden Order. This makes no sense. Yeah, alright, so the vamps aren't going to work out. Everybody else is fine, but like this is silly, right? They love those guys, they love all of our allies, but they hate us for being allied with them. And somebody explained this to me, and this is just poorly designed, but what can you do? Not a big deal. I've kind of had moments before where we couldn't get a agreement going. Anyway, actually, I think with that, this is probably going to be the good place to call it. As soon as we end the turn, we'll probably get we'll definitely get attacked here with Walkoff, and I think there's at least one more location where we will get attacked, so I think we will save that for next episode. Speaking of next time, we continue fighting the rats. Settra's probably going to book it on out of here. Khalida will head north to fight the Greenskins, as she'll be making her landing there. And then hopefully we will quickly push through the relatively weak ogrish territories to grab the next book and start heading towards the very last one. Starting to approach the end of the campaign after all. But we do gotta get a few of these new armies into some fights just because we can. The Tomb Fleet, well, Setup's army has fought, but maybe a couple more times, and then Kotep's army, though it isn't particularly different from other armies due to the relatively small size of the Tomb King's roster in their current state. I still want to see Kotep and all his DJ glory, hopefully with a 2 at least of the Caskets of Souls. But anyway, stay tuned for more Settra. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, yada yada yada. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.